usually when I wake up, it's because my legs hurt, and so I usually wake up moaning, which I'm not gonna do. But I don't really know how to recreate that without it looking weird. And it takes me a while to kind of move in the bed. Okay. What's next? So, my name's Kate Walker. I'm pretty sure you figured that out by now. But I'm 16. I'm a junior in high school. And when I was 12, I was diagnosed with a rare condition called dyslexia, which is a rare neuromuscular condition. So basically, it progressively takes away my balance and coordination until I'm in a wheelchair, which I am now. But it hasn't always been this way. And it kind of affects every part of my body. It affects my speech, my vision, my hearing. It affects, obviously, balance and coordination, all that stuff. It affects everything except my ability to think and my ability to understand. So I was diagnosed in May of 2016, and that was almost 4 years ago. I guess getting ready, I usually have to wash my face.
Yeah.
So to do that, I usually have to stand up at my sink and kind of go from there, and then yeah. I don't really want to do it because I have makeup on, but
right.
But it's really hard for me when I have my eyes closed doing something, because all my sense of balance comes from my vision. And so when I have to close my eyes to wash my face, it usually doesn't go well. And then for makeup, this probably isn't smart, but use all this liquid stuff because it's easier for me to kind of feel it, so I can do it better, I guess. Like this and this, and I don't use a lot because I don't have the energy to do a lot. But I use that pretty much, and it's all stuff to where I can feel it, because my sensation isn't great. And I like to be able to feel stuff so I can, I guess, put it on better. Have a better sense for what I'm doing. So that entire process of getting ready usually takes me 45 minutes, which for most people it would take 10.
Yeah.
But that's just because I do everything slower and it takes me longer. I mean, it's hard being a teenager with a disability because no teenager wants to be different. Like, nobody wants to have those things that make them stand out or make them different. But honestly, I've just had to learn to embrace it. And like, yeah, I have to go to physical therapy and occupational therapy twice a week. But like, other people have, I don't know, football practice after school. And so it's just kind of different. And there's things that are hard for me that I watch my friends and other people do that I know I can't do right now. And it's hard for me to watch that. And it's hard, it's really hard for me to do everything. And I'm not trying to complain. I'm okay with where my life is. But if I'm being honest, every part of my life is kind of a challenge. So, I never really like to wear cute stuff. Most of the time I'm in leggings and a t-shirt, which is what I'm in right now, because that's what's most comfortable for me. I wear pants a lot because this part of my leg tends to turn blue, kind of, because I just get cold and I think it's weird, and so I just wear pants to cover it up. Usually I just wear a sweatshirt or a t-shirt depending on the day. Come here. She doesn't like the chair. Sometimes it doesn't bother her and sometimes she doesn't like it. And I'm never sure why. She really likes you though.
Notice. Hello.
So I've always liked making videos. I have videos on my phone of me making a music video when I was 10, just for fun. I'm pretty sure everybody does, but I always had a passion for it and I really liked it. And I kind of filming myself, and I would sit in my mirror at night and just talk to myself as if there was an audience in front of me, and now I'm putting this on my face, that kind of thing. And then when I was diagnosed with FA, I remember when I first started looking into everything, I couldn't find anybody around my age to look up to. Everybody was older than me, and I don't know, as much as I love those people, it's just a different experience when you're 13 and you're about to go into high school and you're in this disease and there's no one out there that for me to look up to that was going through the exact same thing. And so I kind of wanted to be that person for other people. And through YouTube and all that stuff, I've gotten to fulfill, I guess, the little girl in me that always wanted to do that, and also just be that person for other people. Okay. Wow. So this is the one that I just did. It was a lot of fun. Me and my friends we did all these TikTok dances. They tried to teach me. I was not very good at them, but that's okay. So, I don't know. This one probably took a total of 8 hours to do, because it was a lot of footage. It was probably an hour and a half of footage, and I had to rough cut it, and then I had to insert clips like this and all that kind of stuff, and then I went through and I kind of edited it in, zoomed in on the parts I thought were funny, and just kind of highlighted those, and I added subtitles to some parts, and I don't know, but I really enjoyed doing it. So. Yeah, so there's a lot of videos that people ask me to do, the one where I talked about my chronic pain and dealing with that. People asked me about doing that because, I don't know, that's a common thing with FA, and so people ask me about that. This one was totally uncalled for. No one asked me to do it, but I asked myself, and I enjoyed it. this came to me in the shower one night, and I was like, that is the best idea ever, and I have to do it. I don't know. I guess I like the videos I like making the most, or like this one, it was called like wheelchair user learns viral TikTok dances, and I made one called like wheelchair user goes to a trampoline park, and I like making those kinds of videos because like I think it kind of defies what being in a wheelchair is supposed to be. Well, when I started like my YouTube and my Instagram and all that stuff, it was Make It Happen .FA, and it was just kind of a social media, I guess, campaign to like follow my journey with FA and like spread awareness of FA. But as like time has gone on, it's kind of grown into like people follow me that don't have FA or that have some other disease, and it's just more like into like rare disease in general or disability in general. And so for a while, like my dad and my mom and I like wanted to do something to where obviously one of our main goals is raising funds for FA because FA doesn't have a cure, and so we want to raise funds for it because that directly affects us. But we have learned how much connection has helped us, and we wanted to provide like assistance to people with FA and other rare diseases to just get that connection and like feel how we felt, because I remember the first time I went to an FA event and how like connected and how like supported I felt, because literally that's the only time that everyone in the room knows exactly what you're feeling. Because no matter how hard my parents try or anybody tries, if you don't live in it, you don't understand it. And you can have a good grasp of it, but it's a whole different feeling to be in the room with all those people. I used to drive this car, and this car has hand controls, and I just couldn't get in it by myself, so I used to like literally heave my wheelchair into the trunk of my car and then walk around, and then finally I got to the point where I didn't want to do that anymore. So I got this car, and it has a ramp. So okay. And then I can just leave my chair in here. It's much easier. It's much easier than the other car. So, a lot of people don't realize when they're like painting parking spots that the ramp is usually on the passenger side. And so they end up putting the blue like checkerboard beside the parking spot on the driver's side, which is fine because you can just back into it. And also sometimes people that park next to the checkerboard kind of overlap into the checkerboard, and then I can't fit. And it's hard sometimes, and I have to get places early. And then really, if I can't find parking, I kind of park myself in the middle of two parking spaces and really make people mad, but you know, it's just part of it. Because there's stuff every day that I kind of add to. Like, there's just things that I know I'm going to forget to say, and I can't just say out my whole message in one video. Like, yeah. That's probably why I do YouTube, is because I do it all in, like, a series of videos. I did a video on disability in media and how like disability is not always portrayed the best. I don't know, because a lot of disabled people think that, and I feel like nobody said it, and so I said it. Yeah. So it's kind of just like a series of one thing after the other that I just like want people to know about. I write everything, like journals and stuff written down, and I like even have like notes on my phone. It helps me a lot when I go through an emotion to like, I'm very in touch with my emotions, and so if you give me a little bit, I can figure out what it is and why I'm feeling it. But I have to like write it down and be like, okay, this is what it is, and this is what we're gonna do about it, and everything's gonna be fine. Whole different world with hand controls. Some people get in the car and they're freaked out, and some don't care. It's just.
Well, I trust you.
Well, I don't know about that.
I don't have much of a choice right now.
True. I'm not the best driver, but I'm also not the worst. I only almost kill myself about once a week, so we're improving.
It's better than most people.
Yeah. Button that turns them off, and so my dad can like drive if he needs to, or if I need if I'm in the car with a friend and I can't find parking, then I'll go ahead and get out and then get my friend to take the car. Yes. So that's nice. Year is it 2020? Yeah, so this will be my 4th year. And I've always done a fundraising team for it, and we have people from here and people from where our grandparents live just come out and support us. And obviously that's in Dallas. That's a 5-hour drive for us, and that's really means a lot to me, and it still continues to amaze me. We've had about 40 people every year, and so it's just crazy that that many people would drive that far and pay for a hotel and just come for those 5 hours to hang out with us and support us and be there for us. But we've done fundraising every year for that. So we do t-shirts. I can pull them out actually. They're in the drawer behind me. But we've done t-shirts. We've done just little share the profits. We did one last week. Just stuff like that, just little fundraisers. I've been on the radio to get people to donate. The first year I did the ride, I think we raised I don't even know. I know one year that we raised $38,000 from our team, and if you put 2 years next to each other plus the other fundraising that we do around the year, it was $100,000. So, and I don't know, the ride is just so fun for me. It's honestly my favorite day of the year because I get to see all my friends with FA, and that goes back to being in a room with people that understand you. I don't know, the way I kind of always explain it is with FA, I kind of have muscle spasms sometimes, so I kind of go like this or whatever, and an FA event is the only place where you can do that at a table and no one laughs at you and no one asking questions because they do it too and they know exactly what it was. Oh, part of the thing I haven't talked about, this is not an FA thing, this is just a me thing, and also my dad thing, and also my mom thing, but we're all three obsessed with music constantly. We all, I don't know, it's just I guess it's a huge part of my life. I'm listening to music literally all the time, and I like talking about it, and I like trying new stuff, and I don't know, it's not that interesting, but it's just part of who I am, I guess.
That's super cool.
I have a record player in my room. That's like my favorite thing ever. I have a ton of the Dixie Chicks because my mom loved the Dixie Chicks. Like, it was a whole thing. Obsessed with them. And so I have like 3 or 4 Dixie Chicks out. I'm like, I don't know if I really need this, but okay.
Just since we have such areas on.
Yeah, dry needling. And it makes my legs hurt less bad. Not sure why, but it does. I don't know. Michelle has the science.
Helps your cramps at night,
Yeah,
more specifically.
yeah.
Ooh, good one.
Yeah. Fun stuff. I do. I have some great friends. I have friends that literally come to my car every day and help me get out. I have friends that post me around campus all day, and I think I was in the mindset for a long time that they were just doing that because they had to. And like, maybe that is the reason behind for some people, but I also kind of realized that those people like just want to hang out with me, and I really think that it's special for me when people see me as Kate, not me as the girl in the wheelchair. So my parents, when I was diagnosed with FA in May, and they went to an event without me in October, I think. Like I just didn't go because I wasn't ready, and they didn't think I was ready, which I fully respect now. But in the moment, I was like, no, I think I can handle it. I could not have handled it, and I know that. And so they went to this first event. It was like a symposium where they talk about like research for FA, and it was the ride. So they went to that, and they came back, and they were just like astounded kind of because of the connection that they felt, and like they talk about all the time, like these people at that event like just came up to them and they were like, you look like you're lost and you don't know anybody. So they like invited them to sit with them, and I don't know, they just came back with a whole different perspective. And so they've always kind of pushed me to like obviously spread awareness for my own disease, but also like live like my life to the fullest. Like that sounds cliche, but you know what I mean. Like they just wanted me to reach my full potential and not settle because of FA, because it's just part of my life. So my mom passed away in July of 19, And so it's just me and my dad now, and it's a lot different, and it's still hard, obviously. I know, but it moves. It freaks me out.
Well, so her strength is really not that big of an issue. She really is strong. So her muscles themselves, a lot of her issue is not that. A lot of her issue is her coordination, which is a big part of her disease, is that it's going to affect the coordination more so than the actual strength. And the strength is affected more right now by just not walking as much. So we do a lot of things to maintain her ability to walk, even though it's not the best decision for her to walk at school right now. So balance, coordination, strength, obviously, range of motion, so keeping her flexible. Anytime you're sitting all day, whether it's in a wheelchair or in an office chair, you're going to lose a lot of flexibility through your hips, through the back of your knees. So the same things that would affect somebody that just sits for work all day affect her just from having to sit in her wheelchair. Which is why it's important she gets out of her wheelchair during the day.
I do. The AFOs basically hold my feet up. The braces on my legs. They hold my feet at the right angle, like a 90 degree, rather than dropping.
Give you a little better stability when you're walking. This one? Did you talk about your fatigue yet?
I didn't say I had it. I'm not even talking about it.
So that's another issue that Kate has. Wait, FA, use your analogy. Most people have, what is it, a milk gallon to pour out of?
No, you have like 2 gallons of energy and I have like 2 cups or something, I think.
Yeah, so she's gonna run out of energy a lot faster, so being up and moving is gonna help keep that energy maximized.
Yeah. Anyway, but I think it's really important, the legacy that, I don't know why I keep saying legacy, but like, I guess that, what she instilled in me, like, and how she, like, wanted me to always do what I wanted to do and be whatever I wanted to be and not be defined by FA and be there for other people and love other people. One of the things about my mom is she could literally sit there with me, we were best friends, and talk trash about somebody, but she would always end it with it. But you have to be nice to them, and I would be like, but I don't want to because they're not nice to me. And she was like, but you have to. And so that's just, I don't know, that's kind of one of the main things that I remember is that, like, everybody's going through something, and even if it's different or it seems less like extreme than what you're going through, is that you always have to be nice to people, like even if you really don't want to. And even if it's really hard, but you always have, you never know, like when you're saying something, if you could be like they're in the middle of their worst feelings or in the middle of their worst day and you just made it worse. This board is like a combination of my friends here and my FA friends. I don't really like to call them that, but they have FA and they're my friends, but they're really just my friends. I don't really think of them that way, but so this is when I went to Billie Eilish with my aunt and my cousin and one of my friends, and that was really fun. So this is one of my FA friends. Her name's Mary. She's from Vermont, I think. But yeah, and then this is another one, that's Madeline. We're really close. She lives in Dallas. So, and she also does YouTube, so that's kind of cool. And then just like stuff with friends from here that I'm around all the time, and like my cousin and my dad, and yeah.
What about this middle one?
Okay. So the one in the middle, there's definitely a lot more chaos because I had this one first. But there's just, I keep a lot of like notes and stuff on it just because I like them, and stickers from places I've been and places I've liked, and there's a ticket on there from a baseball game I went to with one of my friends. Still don't know anything about baseball, but it was fun. So this is just more pictures of like me and friends. That was an FA like thing. We went to a drug company and visited with them. Yeah. I don't know, but I think that one of the things that reminds me about this board is that like I'm still a teenage girl.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't see me that way, so I like it.
And you're thinking about going to Bama?
Yeah, I went and toured I guess 2 weeks ago, so maybe we'll see.